Welcome to the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff. Monday edition of the program. What's going on, everybody? Ryan McGuffey here. It's the Recap Lunch Hour. It's all brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations nearest you. Order.hooters.com. Have it delivered straight to your office, your door. Slide by, pick it up. And maybe a lot of you are off today. It's a holiday weekend. Mostly observed. I'll put it that way. Maybe not here in the Recap studios. And that's why I'm with you. Following up a dud of a weekend in terms of sports, but from a weather standpoint, this guy was wearing shorts yesterday because I'm nuts and crazy. And anytime I get teased, I'm going to go out there in style. ESPN has, look, this is the time of year, we talked about it, where everyone's begging for center stage attention. There's an ESPN article by Bill Barnwell of the 11 trades they want to see this offseason. It's the first article you see when you go there. DJ Moore and a first-round pick for Maxx Crosby is one of them's listed. I want to know your thoughts on it. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins continue to release players as they are going for the full rebuild. Bradley Chubb is available now. Tyreek Hill also released. So the Dolphins are clearly in rebuild mode. Let's get to the chat, which is very, very packed. Jess, I will say that the third All-Star game between the Stripes and World was fun, specifically between Leonard and Wembanyama. I could have watched more of that matchup, but the rest was meh. I think the whole weekend was meh. The game was better. There was some effort being played in the game last night. It probably salvaged the entire weekend, but it was eh. Jess says they need to change the format so one team isn't on the court for 3 straight games. That was a terrible ending. Guff, if I'm the Bears and I want Crosby on the Bears, that will make them legit Super Bowl contenders for one. Second, do whatever you can to try and make this home run trade for the franchise. So Eric's all in. It's going to be in the low to mid 60s here in Chicago today. Thank God we can touch some grass, as Breck Bear always says. I'm going with the short sleeves because of it. Leonard and Wembanyama were playing defense, which made it competitive and fun to watch. It just looks like everyone else doesn't really have a reason to play except for a check and Instagram, YouTube fame. That's dead on. Dead on. Definitely get outside and touch some grass. I did a lot yesterday. Glad we get a week off of winter before it resumes next week. 100%. 100% as we go back up to the top of the chat here. Guff just saw that Tyreek Hill was released by the Dolphins. I know the Bears won't go after him, but if he's still available, would you try and get that speedster veteran? I don't know if I need that in this locker room. I honestly don't. The NBA All-Star Game was meh, in my opinion. Not like the old days. It was more fun to watch than currently. Brett, hey, Guff, do you remember I Love Lucy? Of course, Brett. Grew up on those shows. I love that you're such an old soul, Brett. Eric says Bulls are still a civic embarrassment. I used to watch Tom Dorr and Johnny Redker on TV with Storm and Norman Van Leer, my guy. On CSN for the pre- and post-game coverage, that's when Bulls basketball was fun. 48 minutes of intensity. Love Norm. That man, I have great stories about that guy going way back to when I was an intern. Becky woke up with a scratchy sore throat, so I drank some hot cider. Nick Castellanos going to the Padres, Gallen going back to Arizona over the weekend, both those moves. Hey, Phil, if you want to be a serious Super Bowl contender, then make that trade. Don't be scared. The Rams did it for Von Miller, and it worked out pretty well. Yeah, I don't think they're scared to make that trade. Which DJ Moore are you getting? Both sides probably want to know. I think the Cubs are done getting players. Maybe. We'll see. So, Lucas Giolito is an interesting guy out there, I think. They're still a closer and need another bat. Until then, it's the Dodgers and everyone else in the National League. I think it's still the Dodgers and everyone else. George, not worth a first-round pick, says Max on the Maxx Crosby. A lot of people say otherwise. Supposed to be 70 in Tulsa. Thank you. Yeah, it's nice to get this tease in the second half of February already. If you trade DJ, then the rest of that receiver room better be ready to show up week in and week out. Yeah, they have the talent, but they do not have the reliability or toughness of Moore. That's a really good point. That's what I'm saying already. She says Moore and Kmet, even Kmet's a stretch regarding reliability. He just became more reliable in the postseason. Cole Kmet doesn't miss games, though. I'll say this about DJ Moore. You better make sure Rome Odunze is ready to be your number one. And I know you're going to say, oh, Cole Kmet. You need a number one receiver. Luther Burden is not that guy yet. He's phenomenal in space. We don't know if Rome has to be better. Big year for Rome Odunze. Big year. Stepping outside for lunch on this beautiful, slow news day. Yeah, remember to open the windows at home. Lunch crew got to let that fresh air in. 100%. 100%. Cubs just signed another catcher, Eric Yang. That's fine depth. He's not making the roster. Nathan, Guff, help me understand the Cubs signing Shelby Miller to a multi-year contract when he's sitting the whole season. Trade capital, future bullpen depth, the free agents walk after this year. Yes. What's happening is, by the way, a lot of teams signing multi-year deals because it's protecting 2027. And if there is a labor strike, they won't have to pay what the players miss. So if the players miss 100 games, Cubs are only on the hook for the prorated 62 games left. Rest in peace. I did not see this to Robert Duvall, 95 years old. What a life. This dude was an all-time actor. Some of my absolutely favorite movies, favorite roles. I'm a Days of Thunder guy. Loved him in Days of Thunder. Oh, man. It's just so many. I mean, dude, this guy is an iconic actor. Robert Duvall. Rest in peace. As Landon says, my favorite Duvall. Nathan, Olympics news. The United States women's curling team beat Canada for the first time ever. And the men's team is on a meteoric rise and round robin play. What amazing sport. Welcome to the recurl. Watched a little bit on Friday night. I really do love me a shuffleboard on ice. Exciting news from the South Side and out of Central Illinois. Heartland Community College alumni Sam Antonacci is going to be representing the land of wine and pasta in the WBC. Happy President's Day, Guff, and lunch hour. Congrats to Tyler Reddick from Team 23 Racing on winning Daytona. Nice early birthday present for MJ. Such a great finish. Go. How about Michael Jordan, man? Like, he looked, they had that. I saw a Twitter post of him like crying with the Daytona 500 trophy, just like he did with his first NBA. Sishwan, what's up? Missed you all last week while we were in Dublin. I was in Chinatown last night, by the way, my man. Would love to see rugby continue to grow in the U.S. or Chicago in the U.S. Ireland versus Italy in the Six Nations tourney in the city was a buzz. Only one race into the season, but if the standings were to remain the same, Jordan would have 3 drivers in the playoffs. One race. How about that comeback by the U.S. women's curling team last night against China? 2 steals in the last 2 ends to all but guarantee they advanced to knockouts. And I know the hockey team played this morning. Way to go, men's hockey, for advancing to the quarterfinals of the Olympics. Let's keep it going. Bring home the gold. Pablo, have a great, fun week. Thanks for the show, Guff. Looking forward to the March Madness live show. We're trying to get that one nipped in. I believe it will be the first day of the tournament, March 19th at Hooters. Pablo, become a member. Love the merch, but the live Q&A is outstanding. We'll do one this week. I'm going to get Katie back on the horn for that one. Kyle, great bounce back win over Indiana for Illinois. Only gets tougher down the road for Michigan at the end of the month. Great to get Kylan Boswell back. Hope they keep it going. Go Illini. Becky says she thinks the Cubs win 95 to 96 games. Michael Jordan's interview after the 500 was great. He let everyone know his ring size for the championship race. Size 13. That was so good. Cap said during coffee this morning that Illinois has the potential to win a championship this year. So badly I want that to happen, but I'm just not sure. Always get bounced when expectations are on them. They are a tough team to defend, though. They move the ball really well. They shoot the ball from the outside really well. Play with pace. Depending on their draw, and I'll look it up here on bracketology. I think that they have them as a 3 seed, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look. I usually go to Joe Lenardi. He's got Illinois currently as Purdue 2, Michigan State a 3, Iowa an 8. Here, where are we at? Illinois. Oh, Illinois. He does have Illinois as a 2 now. Illinois is a 2 seed with the chance to play Kentucky. Kansas would be that 3. North Carolina the 6, with the number 1 seed being Duke. So, I mean, that's a good draw. Oh, sorry. Prayers for Godfather and his daughter, Carrie. Hope things are going better. Hopefully we see Godfather here on the chat at some point. I don't see him right now. I'm still way up here. Aloha from Honolulu. Watch some curling over the weekend. Hope they get some full contact curling. Incorporate some full contact. That would be awesome. Yeah, love you, Godfather. Hopefully Looks like they're going to use the strike ABS system. I hate it for now. Illinois at 10, so still a top 10 team and a 2 seed in the latest bracketology. Fortunately, the loss against Wisconsin is a bad one, and that's why they dropped. Just got to keep playing and let the chips fall where they may. I agree, find a way to win a damn basketball game, see what happens. I do agree with Cap that, in fact, there isn't one college basketball team that's truly unbeatable and destined for the title. Like, look at Arizona. They've lost 2 in a row. Watching PCA's interviews thus far in spring training, I think what we're seeing is a dude who's starting to step into a leader-type role and less of the team little brother. Fun to see his growth. Phil, Guff, ready for another last-place losing season for the White Sox as they continue to remain irrelevant in the American League? Asking for a friend. I will bet you anything you want that they don't finish in last place. And I don't understand. You're just grasping at straws. I think this tournament's wide open, in my opinion. There's no true best team right now. Super sexy cardboard. Guess it's a done deal. Which one? What's up, child? Phil, don't forget the Sox have the same number of rings as the Yankees this century. It's damn right. It's about time that he understands that the Yankees are just another team, too. Court, March Madness is going to be great this spring. Illini make it to the Elite Eight is my best bet of the tourney. Get that in now. Crosby's injuries scare me, says Aloha. Health is always the most important thing. James, in a perfect world, I trade for Garrett instead of Crosby. And that perfect world is going to cost you maybe 3 number ones. Are you willing to do that? 3 number ones. And you're probably going to have to move money. Kyle, if Burton and Odunze had a better season with not so many drops, that might be good with trading for Maxx. If Poles is all in, pull the trigger like Green Bay did with Micah. That's what I'm saying is you better make sure. I'm so ready for the 20th. That's this Friday. I hope it's just like today on opening day. Well, the weather is going to change. You're talking about you hope the weather is like this a month from now. We're supposed to get back in the 30s next week. We'll get that back by this weekend. It's going to rain a lot this week here. Drop that temperature back to where we always know where it's expected to be. Baseball can't come soon enough. My people, Teal and Montgomery, are about to go off with Murakami backing them up. If they would take anybody else except for DJ and Caleb, I'm good with it. No. DJ was a warrior, says Rick, for the Bears and was banged up towards the end of the season and made 3 of the most memorable receptions of the entire year. Big time. Yes, Brett, I said so. Join the Recap membership. Become a member. We love when you do it on the show because then we go nuts. Maxx, always, Justin, always. He's one of those guys that wants to retire a Raider, but we'll see. This past weekend was the 36th anniversary of the game where MJ had his jersey stolen in Orlando. Pretty great game, 49 while wearing number 12. That'll never happen in today's game. Nope. Justin, Giolito's dad curses everyone about politics. We don't need that vibe in the clubhouse, especially when most of the Sox core is into country things like hunting. You got to leave politics out of sports, period. By the way, Giolito's dad is not Lucas Giolito. I don't think the White Sox are signing him anyway, so it doesn't matter. When you bring politics into sports, you guys, it's just, you'd be surprised. By that, I mean security's so tight, no one gets access to player locker rooms. James, well, that was an inside job. Everyone can be a genius in fantasy football, but the reality is completely different. If the Raiders decide to trade Crosby, we won't get a chance to trade for him financially and with draft picks. Yeah, we would be, James. 100%. Justin, Teal's uncle and Giolito's dad probably won't get along according to their Twitter accounts, and they won't be the only two. Robert Duvall, Dusk Till Dawn, Godfather, of course. Our Chicago, Duvall was great in the movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Justin met Sam Antonacci at Sox Fest. We were talking ball the whole time at the after party. He was cool, and I want him to make it. I think Antonacci would be good in the outfield, and he steals bases. Tony, would you prefer to sign Chubb, not trade draft picks, and maybe draft a defensive tackle or a left tackle? I'd be fine with that. I wonder what Chubb's market will be. 10 sacks this year, just like Montez Sweat. Phil, bet you $100 your White Sox won't win 70 games this year. If I win, dinner on you at Hooters. I'll take that bet. Especially because it's you. I'm in. Save the receipt of this. Harvey Keitel was in Dust Till Dawn. I didn't think Robert Duvall was. Save the receipt because then we can go to our favorite place, Hooters. where you can have the best lunch specials from 11 to 3 every day, $9.99 or less. The OG wings, the boneless wings, the blackened chicken Caesar salad, the burger, Godfather's favorite. Of course, the Tito's Strawberry Lemonade is the drink of the month. Beautiful day for it. $8 all month long. Tito's Vodka, the strawberry puree. OriginalHooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland LOU. We'll get you the information as soon as I get it about where we'll be on March 19th for the tournament. Hopefully Illinois is playing that day. We can watch them together. Cap and I will do a live stream, shake some hands, get some babies. Hooters, proud partner of the Recap and the Recap Lunch Hour. Let's go back to the chat. I'll take rain over snow any day. At this point, yes. No such thing as making sure. Trying to think what where that was from. I'm been watching a lot of UCLA baseball. Chalowski isn't the only player out of UCLA that I want the White Sox to draft. Peyton Brennan also. Homered in, I believe, his first game, if I'm not mistaken, over the weekend. Do you think it was a mistake not trying harder for Gallen and the bench seems light on hitting? Will they do anything else? Clearly, Gallen's market was a one-year deal. He basically got the qualifying offer from Arizona. The draft pick compensation. That's got to be one of the things that's figured out in the CBA. I think it's so stupid that teams have to lose a draft pick. Phil, well, at least the Yankees have been to the playoffs and World Series, unlike the White Sox. They haven't been in last place 3 years in a row and set the record for losses in MLB history. That's all right. Your trophy case looks a little light this decade, or actually this century. I remember watching Three Stooges Sunday nights on UPN. Worst game, NBA All-Star game or the Pro Bowl? Definitely the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl, speaking of things they got to fix. Cubs are going to beat the White Sox 5-2. Doesn't matter. Bunch of guys wearing number 87. Thanks to Kyle, Guff, and all the great people in the chat. Carrie's doing better, but it's a slow process. Hopefully I'll be back later in the week. Godfather, thank you for coming in. Thank you for updating all of us. We've been thinking about you all weekend. Certainly the prayers. You've seen people here in the chat asking about you. Take a break, man. Go take care of your daughter. Robert Duvall says, Samuel was a great American actor. Yes, I loved Falling Down. Classic film with a great cast. You don't blow your son's chances, though, especially when he isn't signed. It would be bad to have him not signed because he can't be he's going to get signed because of his talent. I'm telling you, if you knew the politics of a lot of the pro athletes, I bet a lot of people would feel stuff. That's why a lot of guys don't get involved with it. Gone in 60 Seconds was a great Duvall film. Should we know about the stadium decision by next week's end? Still hoping Arlington gets it done, but let's just get this team to win it all. Doesn't matter where they play as long as they win. I don't think it'll be by next week. Got the screenshot, Guff. Guess if the Sox win 71, we should have recap night at Hooters so Phil can honor the dinner. Damn right. People need to get better online because it makes me sad sometimes. Justin, if that's social media, bud, if you're looking for some people to be clean on social media, I don't want to get into it, but it's a top-down problem. Okay. Glad to hear Carrie's doing well, Godfather. Sending prayers so she can go home soon. Eric, I'm expecting by the end of the month, the Bears decide on where they are building their next stadium. I think it's Arlington Heights at the end of the day. I do too. I think we all do. The Indiana thing, you could think Hammond and Portage if they end up in Arlington Heights. Dog of the day in conjunctions and partnership with Pause for Patrick, helping adolescents facing mental health challenges. I'm going to one of our all-time. This is for Kyle today. Kylo loves the chicken nuggets. 30,000 adolescents have been helped since 2020 due to Pause for Patrick. They're trying to put therapy dogs in mental health facilities full-time. Not for an hour, not for once a week, full-time. And you guys can help this life-changing mission. Look at that dog. Could you imagine Kylo sitting on your lap right now? I would love that. Your dog can be dog of the day. If you send me an email at recapoffice@gmail.com like Kurt did last week. Kurt did it. We put his beautiful dogs on screen. We do the same thing for you. You can also help Pause for Patrick's life-changing mission by texting RECAP25 to 44321. RECAP25 to 44321. $1, $2, $5, $10. Any donation. Put the recap on there, and you guys are helping a pandemic facing our adolescents. Very near and dear cause to my heart, as you guys know. Pause for Patrick, great partner, great charitable partner here at the Recap proud to be with them. Robert Duvall was in the Schwarzenegger clone movie, The Sixth Day. Wow. Justin, last World Series, Yankees 09, Phillies 08, Mets 86, Padres never. Only the Dodgers have pulled off high payrolls. And that's because they have a great farm system and don't just trade every prospect, Phil. True, Justin, but look at their lineup. Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Kyle Tucker. None of those guys were their prospects. Okay? Payroll matters, just for the record. So don't give the White Sox a pass. Guff, I'll take a cheeseburger, fries, and a chili. Good for you. You'll be paying for it. You need a farm system and put the right pieces around it. True. Sichuan, most memorable DePaul Tigers sporting moment you witnessed in person. Well, I'd have to say, is it egotistical to be a part of the ones we played in? I mean, we won all 4 bells. So we were, until this year, we were the last class at DePaul to do that. All 4 Monon bells, boom. Scored a touchdown in that game. In that game, that's all that matters. Beating, I ran track as well. So when we won the conference title, that was the first time that had ever happened with our coach, who's still there, Corey Stoffregan, phenomenal. Justin the Haverkamp game where he kicks a field goal in 07, had never kicked a field goal in college, comes in and knocks a 47-yarder through. Those are great moments. I've loved Chris Huffman's DePaul Tigers 2 national titles. So I didn't see that in person though, but I love the question. Kylo's back just made my day, Guff, telling you I'm stealing that name. It's all yours. When I said go screw yourself, I didn't mean literally. Nathan, still seeing Nico and Shaw floated as potential trades yet to be made. In a hypothetical situation, if they were to trade them, who do you think they'd go even for or even go for? Somebody big. If you're trading those 2 guys, somebody big. Somebody of consequence that another team's looking to get rid of and go younger with. I was saying that they have their farm system and built around it. Others didn't. That's what I was saying. Got you. I was giving Dodgers credit because they did both. Ding, dong, ding, dong. That's all 4, my friend. That's all 4. Let's get to bet of the day. And I'll tell you what, folks. Stay hot, kid. Stay hot. 20-10. 20-10 since 2026 began. You guys should know at this point, you should memorize, first of all, the two teams. Miami of Ohio, that was easy. Friday night, national television, that barn was burning. They won by 16, 8.5, 9.5. That thing got down to 7.5. I bet it all. And then you should also know Stephen F. Austin. When they're playing, I'm betting them. 19-5 against the number all year. They were underdogs on Saturday, if you believe that. Won outright. We're doing it again. On the road, big test in Corpus Christi tonight, but I'm laying the 5.5. They're the best team in the number against the spread. Look at the numbers. We're 63-51-1, 7-4 in February after a 13-6 January. We're really riding high, stacking the pot as we get closer to March Madness. But damn, it's been fun to put the glasses on time and time and time and time again. Kyle knows. Bet of the day, staying hot, hot, hot. Top Guff, let's keep flying high. Let's keep it going. Dude, the glasses are just... Nathan says, when the graphic stays up longer than 3 seconds, we know that the sign for Top Guff is about to appear. Why am I taking these off so soon? When you earn the right to wear them, Kyle, are you betting on Stephen F. to take the title? Well, no. Not to take the title, but I will certainly be looking at them in the tournament. They're 23-3 overall. This is a chance for me. They have 5 games left. Texas A&M, Corpus Christi tonight, then Nichols, New Orleans, Houston Christian, and Incarnate Word. Some of your favorite teams, and they have smoked some of these teams. They've covered against Houston Christian, Incarnate Word, New Orleans. They did not cover. So we'll take a look at that one. And Nichols going way... Where's Nichols? Nichols. I know they played Nichols. I don't see Nichols. One of our other teams played Nichols earlier in the year. So 5 more chances and in their conference tournament for sure. Flying. We are flying high. Let's go. Feel the same. Dark horse could be Miami of Ohio. They'll probably have their, there's only so much. Miami of Ohio right now, just to give you guys a little clarity as to where they are, they're probably a 10. Let's see where 11 seed right now in Philadelphia. Would not want to be the 6 seed in that, though. Then the 3 seed Michigan State in that same bracket. So even though they're undefeated, you got to be careful. The tournament's a whole different ballgame. Recap, folks. Go touch some grass. Enjoy this great weather. It's beautiful here. Chi-Town, Guff, you do the same as well. Trust me, I will be outside today. I will be touching some grass. There's our bet of the day. You guys know. I think I've given this one out at least 8 or 9 times, which is a big reason why we are sitting fat in the green here with the year to date. Looking really, really good. And I'm going to lay it again. Every time they play, I'm laying it. All right, so we got spring training games starting at the end of the week. A tough. The Bulls are not in action until Thursday, but of course we watch the game so you don't have to. And the Combine's coming up. We're going to send Nicholas Moriano down there. Katie and I will have a Q&A. I'll get that set up for you, and I'll have times on that for tomorrow. I'll get you the schedule. We'll do it later in the week. But like everybody has said here, go touch some grass in honor of Breck Bear. Go touch some grass. It's beautiful here because it's going to be a complete 30-degree swap by the end of the week. Appreciate you guys. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Think about Godfather and his daughter, Carrie. We appreciate him chiming in here to let us know things are progressing. Have a great rest of your day. It's all brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you, order.hooters.com. It can be delivered straight to your office, your house. You can slide by, pick it up. If you're not working today, maybe slide by and go have lunch right now. We'll have a recap rush hour later today on the channel. Of course, podcasts later in the week. Have a great rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow once again at 12:30 on the recap lunch hour. Seriously, run outside right now and just sit outside as long as you can and enjoy this weather. Take that.